What if I told you your slides could think for themselves, moving, animating, and resetting perfectly every time, even when you're in normal view? Most presenters still fight with misaligned shapes and broken transitions. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and you'll learn the slide master tricks, invisible placeholders, merge intersect, quick reset, morph-ready layouts, and timed animations that most designers never discover. Miss this, and you'll keep losing hours to rework, or worse, deliver a slide deck that looks amateur. At first glance, this is how our PowerPoint will look in its default format, but we're going to make a few changes. Head to Slide Master in the View ribbon, and at the bottom of the Slide Master layouts, insert a new layout. I recommend that you don't delete the default layouts. They come in handy. Uncheck the footers and title for this new layout. We'll need them later. Give the layout a clear name so you can easily remember it and identify it later in normal view when you start using it in presentations. I'll switch to normal view briefly and insert the layout we created so you can see how everything begins to come together. At first, it will be empty, but we'll refine it to look professional. Now let's return to Slide Master View. Notice how I easily switch between Slide Master View and normal view. You can do the same. On the View ribbon, hover to Slide Master, right-click, and select Add to Quick Access Toolbar. Do the same for normal view. Putting these commands in the Quick Access toolbar makes switching views much faster. Mine is at the bottom, place yours where you prefer. First, we'll create a placeholder with a credits animation. In the Slide Master ribbon, hover to Insert Placeholder and select Text Placeholder. We're going to make the text placeholder effectively invisible, so anything typed in it won't be visible. In normal view, you'll see why shortly. Select all text inside the text placeholder, go to the Home ribbon, still in Master View, change the font size to 1, then go to Shape Format Text Fill, No Fill, and set Text Outline to No Outline. If your placeholder doesn't look the same, you may have missed a step or not selected the text inside the placeholder. Temporarily set the placeholder's shape fill so you can see it, then duplicate it so you have 2 invisible text placeholders. Insert a rounded rectangle shape. And while it is selected, adjust its size and shape format to your preference. Use the yellow corner handle to change the curvature. Once satisfied, place one of the invisible text placeholders behind the rounded rectangle and increase the placeholder's size so it fully covers the shape. Before continuing, switch to normal view and hit reset to refresh the layout. You'll notice the rounded rectangle isn't directly selectable in normal view. It appears attached to the layout. If you remove the invisible placeholder, you'll see the shape, but you won't be able to select it in normal view. It remains selectable in Slide Master View. To make the shape selectable and movable in normal view, return to Slide Master View and select the invisible text placeholder behind the shape. Select the placeholder first, then the shape. In Shape Format Merge Shapes, choose Intersect. This converts the shape into an invisible text placeholder. The yellow corner handle will disappear, and adjust the layout background or theme colors as needed, effectively turning the rounded rectangle into a placeholder. Back in normal view, the shape can now be selected and moved anywhere. Hitting reset will return it to its original Slide Master position. This approach preserves the Slide Master layout, while allowing convenient adjustments in normal view. Back in Slide Master View, right-click the New Shape placeholder and choose Format Shape. In the right-hand pane, select No Fill under Fill and enable Solid Line under Line. Increase the width to taste and set an appropriate dash type that suits your template. After choosing a dash style, duplicate the other invisible text placeholder so both are the same size. Align one placeholder to the top right and the other to the bottom right. To place the dashed, rounded shape on top of both invisible placeholders, open the selection pane from the Shape Format ribbon, where you can rename, hide, lock, and reorder items. Drag the shape to the top of the list so it appears above the invisible placeholders. If your layout looks different from mine, ensure the rounded shape sits between the two invisible text placeholders and follow the same alignment steps. Change the shape fill to white temporarily so the arrangement is clear. And adjust the layout background or theme colors as needed. Now insert a new text placeholder. Select all text inside it, delete the sample text, and remove bullet points. If you don't want them to appear in the final template, if you prefer bullet points, leave them in. Add a short caption to the placeholder to remind users what content belongs there. Add a caption that is easy to remember and that quickly tells your clients what to do with the text placeholder. Customize the placeholder to suit your template. Its size will depend on the template type, but for the purposes of this video, I'll make it stretch from the top to the bottom of the layout. In the selection pane, send the text placeholder to the back. If you find that the text placeholder keeps being selected by accident, use the selection pane to select it directly, or hide all other placeholders except the text placeholder that will prevent accidental selection. When you're ready to restore everything, click Show All in the selection pane. Now select the two invisible text placeholders, go to Shape Format, and change their fill to Slide Background Fill. This makes those placeholders automatically match the background color of the layout. Switch to Normal View and hit Reset to apply the Slide Master changes and refresh the slide. If you make a mistake in Normal View, always hit Reset to restore the Slide Master positions. You may notice that changing the invisible placeholders to Slide Background Fill doesn't seem to affect them in Normal View right away. That's a current limitation. For now, you can manually tweak them in Normal View when needed. Hopefully, future PowerPoint updates will make this automatic. Return to Slide Master View to add a credits animation to the text placeholder. Select the text placeholder, go to Animations, More Entrance Effects, and choose Credits. Change the text color to white if necessary, so it's visible against the background. Open the animation pane. I keep it in the Quick Access toolbar, but you can open it from the Animations tab. And play the animation to preview it. To customize the credits effect, double-click the animation in the animation pane. Or right-click and choose Effect Options. In timing, set Start with Previous, so the animation starts immediately. Adjust the duration to your preference and set Repeat to Until End of Slide. Under Text Animation, set Group Text to As One Object. Click OK to save the settings that completes the credits animation. Next, add any additional text placeholders you need. For placeholders, you don't want users to change. Either lock them to prevent deletion or hide them so they don't interfere with layout edits. Bring back the title and adjust it. Then customize the remaining text placeholders, positions, and formats. I sometimes use shapes as visual reference markers to measure distances when aligning placeholders. This is useful because grouping placeholders in SlideMaster View is limited. If you want to use icons instead of numbers or text in a placeholder, use a content placeholder. It supports icons, numbers, images, and even 3D content, so it's flexible for different content types. Once you've completed customization and alignment, add animations to your placeholders to make the template more dynamic. Choose an animation that brings your presentation to life. I'll use fade and make minor timing adjustments so you can follow along. Also add an animation to the first shape we converted to a dashed outline. I recommend renaming each placeholder rather than keeping default names. This makes it much easier to locate and assign the right animations. Select the intersected shape, choose an animation, I'll use wheel, and move it to the top of the animation pane, so it plays first. For the animation that follows the intersected shape, set start to after previous, so it begins once the first animation finishes. Apply after previous to subsequent animations as needed. When the animations are arranged and tested, hide or lock placeholders you finished working on to keep the SlideMaster uncluttered while you complete the template. Our final major step is creating the transition system for the template and presentation. With finished placeholders hidden or locked, insert picture placeholders via Insert Placeholder in the SlideMaster ribbon. Use consistent sizes for your image placeholders and rename each one. Multiple unnamed image placeholders quickly become confusing when positioning and animating. Duplicate an image placeholder and resize one version to a smaller size as needed. Unhide or unlock placeholders if you need to tweak positions. Rename the image placeholders in the selection pane so you don't get lost. Then duplicate the smaller placeholders for as many images as you need. Hold and drag a duplicate away from the group, or use the right arrow key while selected to separate it. Select all image placeholders, align them to the middle, and distribute them horizontally. Position the small placeholders outside the layout if they're intended to move into view during transitions. Once that's done, duplicate the layout. In the duplicate, first unhide all placeholders and select the rounded intersected shape. Let me first rename it as dash rounded rectangle and remove its animation in the duplicated layout via the animation pane. We want the dash rounded rectangle's animation to work in only one layout, not across every layout we create. To remove it, right-click the animation and select Remove. For the first animation that remains, change its start to with previous. Once that's done, hide all placeholders except the image placeholders so we can focus on customizing them. Still, on the duplicated layout, I'll insert shapes to act as guidelines for positioning the outside image placeholders. This step is optional, but if it helps, follow along. I create 5 guide shapes on the right and 1 on the left. All of these guide shapes sit outside the duplicate layout. Align each guide shape with a particular duplicate image placeholder. I place the guides starting from image 2 to image 5 on the right. Now for the fun part, we'll repeat a few simple steps to produce the transition. Drag image 1 to the left, outside the layout. Align image 2 inside the layout in the center. Copy image 1's height and width, then paste those dimensions to image 2 so image 2 matches image 1's size. Make sure image 2 is centered both vertically and horizontally. For the outside image placeholders on the right, align each one to its corresponding guide shape. Then, copy the height and width of any small duplicated image placeholder and paste those dimensions to the outside image placeholder, on the left, image 1. Once sized, align image 1 with the left guide shape. Add more guide shapes on the left where image 1 sits, if you plan to place additional image placeholders in subsequent layouts. Duplicate the second layout you were working on. In the new duplicate, place image 1 on the left guide. Push image 2 to the left outside the layout where image 1 previously was. Then move image 3 into the center of the layout. Customize sizes and positions for all image placeholders, exactly as you did in the previous duplicate. Repeat this process so that each image position, image 1 through image 6, for example, has its own layout. When every image placeholder has its dedicated layout, delete any guide, shapes, or other elements that shouldn't appear in the final presentation or template. Return to the first layout you created and open the selection pane to show all placeholders you previously hid. Repeat this for each duplicated layout. In normal view, hit reset and the updates from the slide master will populate, ready for you to customize content. This is how the template will look before any content is added. Next, create an introduction layout by duplicating the first layout. Although PowerPoint will often select the next layout after duplication, select the first layout and create the introduction layout from it. In this layout, we'll move almost all placeholders to set up a professional morph transition. Be sure to align and distribute elements carefully for a smooth effect. Do not move the dashed rounded rectangle. Instead, make it invisible. Always rename placeholders so you can quickly locate the exact one you want to edit. With the dashed rounded rectangle selected, open Format Shape and set line to no line. For the credits text placeholder, set text transparency to 100% under Format Shape text options. Add an introduction text placeholder and customize it to your preference, and remove all animations from the introduction layout. We don't need them there. Next, apply a gradient fill to every layout except the introduction layout. This gradient is a preview of how slides will display, but the final background for each slide should be chosen based on the images and content you insert in normal view. To apply the same gradient quickly, select all remaining layouts and choose Format Background Gradient Fill. Rename each layout with a clear descriptive name so clients can follow the template structure easily. I realized I forgot to add a transparent text layout earlier, so add it now. Create a new layout, customize it, and paste this transparent text placeholder into every layout you created. Ensure the transparent text placeholder sits behind all other placeholders on each layout. In the introduction layout, send the transparent placeholder to the back and then move it outside the layout area. Now you can create your presentation. Always hit reset after updating Slide Master to apply changes. You may delete a layout only in normal view. If you delete something by mistake, click Reset to restore what was created in the Slide Master. If a particular placeholder obstructs access to another, delete or move it temporarily so you can edit the one you need, but remember to hit reset when you're finished to snap everything back into the Slide Master positions. Play the presentation to preview how it looks. You notice the transparent text. Placeholders don't hide information on the right side during playback. Select both placeholders, go to Format Shape, and choose Slide Background Fill. I recommend doing this step near the end after filling all placeholders, because repeated use of Reset may require reapplying some manual adjustments. Change the gradient fill for each layout to match the images you use. When adding slides, duplicate existing slides rather than inserting new ones. Duplicate a slide, then choose Layout and select the Introduction layout. Change the background fill from gradient to solid as required, or whichever layout you need. If content appears displaced, cut and paste text visible in any outside transparent placeholder into the proper layout placeholder on the slide, then add your slide title. You might notice the two invisible placeholders appearing during transitions, because slide backgrounds use differing colors, and their fills weren't manually customized to slide background fill. Across all layouts, fix this by applying slide background fill to those placeholders in each layout. Play the presentation again to confirm the transitions work smoothly. For subsequent slides, duplicate the previous slide, change its layout as needed, delete any unnecessary content, and always hit reset if you accidentally delete a placeholder so it can be restored. Repeat this process for the remaining slides until the presentation is complete. You've just turned a flat default slide into a flexible, edit-friendly template, movable placeholders that snap back with reset, credits, and wheel animations pre-configured, and a set of morph layouts for seamless transitions. Practice this once, and every future deck takes half the time and looks twice as professional. If you're serious about cleaner, faster slides, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the follow-up where I break down timing, the animation pain hacks, and the morph transition sequence.